I must tell you about a motor show that I went to see in a local field to us. Big field, lots of people there. It was one of those classic motor shows, you know. Most of the cars were from either Britain or America. There were a few from the continent, but they were mainly things like, you know, Bentleys and Jaguars, and there was even Anglias there, some old Anglias. And there were the American cars, Cadillac, Pontiac, things like that. There was a Lamborghini there, which had the bonnet open so you could admire the engine as well. And the engine was unbelievable, so clean, you know, it was polished. So everything was sparkling in the sun, really beautiful, and all the people milling around just admiring these works of art, really. You know, if vehicles can ever be proud, then these ones were proud, and they were really, really quite something. But what struck me was just off to one side there was if you like, a motley group of vehicles, and it was it was called the commercial category. That was it, the commercial category. And there were lorries there, a British lorry, a couple of British lorries actually, nicely kept, but British lorries, all kind of lumpy, and there was an American truck. If I remember rightly, you needed a ladder to get into it. It was way up in the sky, you know, massive, great grid, radiator grid on the front of it, huge thing, and quite a beautiful thing. And there was a fire engine, brilliant red, you know, all beautifully polished. I mean, it's about 100 years old. Brass, chrome, mainly brass, I think, on it. It was big bell, you know, big brass, couple of big brass bells. A beautiful thing. But what I'm getting at is in the shadow of these giants, there was this funny little London taxi that could have come out of a Sherlock Holmes story, could have come out of even maybe even Laurel and Hardy sketch. It's a funny little square London taxi, black, and I think it was dark blue. Beautiful little thing, a quaint little thing, you know, it was really from another era. And it's like a shoebox on wheels. The wheels were narrow, you know, with spokes. And the smell of leather came out from the inside. And I looked at the dashboard. There was just about 3 simple dials on the dashboard. Big old handbrakes sticking up out the floor. Upright windscreen, you know, dead upright. Wind down windows would have been unheard of, let alone electric ones. So there you are. But what an amazing little car. And it struck me as I looked at it. It spent its whole existence, if cars have an existence, it spent its whole existence serving. That's what it was for. It was to serve. And here it was, after a lifetime of service, tucked away in this motor show that very few people, I might add, were looking at it. And it just struck me, what a fascinating story, you know, it could tell if it could speak. Well, I went home. But the afternoon came and I thought, I've got to go look at that little old car again. It had such an atmosphere about it. So I went back. And when I went there, I walked along down to the commercial vehicle area, and there were the big lorries and everything. But where the taxi cab had been was an empty space. It was gone. It had been snatched away. The servant had been snatched away. And that brings me to the subject of the rapture. A lifetime of service and snatched away.